It's no secret these days that GameStop is not doing very well. With the rise of sites like Amazon and PlayStation and Microsoft offering digital games, GameStop, which is really mostly in the business of selling used games, or at least they were in the past, is really starting to struggle with this shift in the market and how more gamers are just putting their dollars online instead of actually physically going into these gaming locations. And that is no more apparent than this new article from Polygon, which says GameStop employees report extreme pressure from desperate bosses. In multiple interviews with Polygon, store managers and staff speak of plummeting morale. And really, this article just goes over some of the things that the employees they interviewed said, and really what this article boils down to is it sounds like there is a lot of pressure on the regular store employees. The associates that you see when you walk in, the new hires, the salespeople. The regular employees. There's so much pressure on them now to make sales and hit certain quota that corporate and these district managers of these stores are passing down to them. And in many of these interviews, the people say things that really indicate that their jobs are becoming so much more stressful, and they're really turning people off. The customers who are coming into the store, they're turning them off because of these really just aggressive sales approaches. A lot of them say that they're given these like manuscripts of questions to ask and of people that come in to try to find out if they can upsell them on things. And a lot of these employees are also saying that they're being told to push certain products, such as these cards, like the cards that have currency on them for different kind of services or games. And a lot of them are also surprisingly being pushed to ask questions of the customer about their own phones that they're using, such as the amount of data, how old it is, what kind of condition it is, and so that GameStop can actually buy and resell used phones, which I get it. Like, the used phone market is kind of expanding. It's kind of been big for a little while. I don't know exactly why they would want to go into this business. I mean, I understand there is some profit to be made, but GameStop is for games, and although phone can be used for games, I'm not exactly sure that people would, like, what is GameStop going to do? Like, become the next Verizon or AT&T store? I don't think that's really where they should shift their focus right now, because for me personally, I don't really feel comfortable like buying a used phone. So I don't really know what they're trying to do with this. Maybe they are seeing some profit. Maybe they're not. I'm not sure, but there has to be some sort of reason, I guess, behind why they're doing that. But yeah, so really these employees are just talking about this huge pressure they're feeling from upper management, and how they are just really being pressured to sell things that people might not want, obviously, and push the game rewards programs and try to push all these extra costs on these people that are coming in, who honestly, a lot of these people coming into the store are probably just looking around at games that they might want to play. Maybe they already have a game in mind that they want to pick up. Maybe they're just trying to browse some deals that they could get something a little bit cheaper than they could online. And these employees are just being forced to just be these scummy salespeople who just pry these customers, just annoy the heck out of them until they end up just leaving the store. And that's what a lot of the managers have said has happened because of this push to drive sales, is that a lot of the employees or a lot of the customers just end up getting fed up, angry, and leave. And because a lot of the employees don't meet their quota for the day, let's say they're told that they need to sell 10 things during the day. If they don't meet that, they're punished. Like they're given a little stripe on their card that says, like, oh, well, you missed the quota today, so you're gonna be in trouble if you if you continue to not hit your metrics, which just sucks, and it's horrible for employee morale. And a lot of these employees are speaking up about it in this article. And a lot of these employees and managers have also said that the last holiday season had a lot less foot traffic than previous years did, and how, it used to be how these games, when they released at midnight on their release dates, there would be lines just out the door of hundreds of people waiting to get these games from these GameStops, and now they're lucky to get like around 20. And so what GameStop seems to be doing here is, because the used game sales are down big time, they seem to, like I said, be pushing cards, memberships, and pre-orders. Pre-orders seem to be a really big one right now, because GameStop seems to not really want to be investing too much in their game inventory. Obviously, having games that are not selling on your shelves takes up inventory, and you want only stuff that sells. And so employees are being pressured to get people to coerce them into pre-ordering games. And they even have like lists that they, of questions and things that they have to say to try to get people to pre-order things, so that GameStop can only ship the amount of games that they need for those pre-orders to keep inventory as low as possible. And what a lot of managers are also saying is that Fortnite is killing the gaming industry. Oh, surprise, surprise. Fortnite is killing the gaming industry. A lot of managers have said that a lot of the younger crowd that comes in, they're mostly just focused on Fortnite, and because of that, they either don't go to the store too often, or if they do, they're only looking for Fortnite stuff. And since Fortnite is a digital game, there's really not a lot to be had besides maybe merchandise. But with that being said, merchandise, specifically game collectibles, seem to be a real boon for this company. One of the managers was saying how the profit margins on physical games is around 20% for the company, but on actual physical game collectibles that people come to get in, the profit margin can be as high as 50%. And not only that, but the game collectibles that are sold in GameStop, the sales have went through the roof. Like, they're doing great. They're actually growing. They're selling more of these collectibles and these physical goods rather than games. But because of this, the guys up at corporate are insisting on just pumping out and sending out all of these game collectibles that might not sell to these stores. So there's just all this game collectible inventory that is sitting there that's not selling. And so instead of sending games out, they're just sending all of this really unsellable inventory of collectibles instead, which is really hurting the amount of space that these stores have. And it just really seems to me like GameStop they need to focus more on selling these collectibles and really get a focus and a grasp and a system down to manage their inventory and exactly what they want to do. They seem really sporadic right now. GameStop just seems like it really doesn't know what direction it wants to go in, and they need someone to come in from higher up and say, hey, listen, here's how we're going to manage things, here's where we want to position ourselves, and this is what we're going to do, and actually implement that. And I think for me personally, I hate going into stores and just feeling like I am bombarded by salespeople trying to sell me stuff, especially for something like a GameStop, where the culture around gaming is, in my opinion, I think a lot of gamers are not really those types that want to be just hounded by people and have all these questions thrown at them. At least for me, I'm much more of an introverted kind of guy. When I go into a store, I like to just browse how I want. I don't really want people bothering me unless I actually have a question about things. And for many gamers, at least myself, I know what I like. So if I go into a store, I'm pretty easily going to be able to figure out what I like and don't like, even though if I do have some questions, it is nice to have someone there to at least ask or show me through things. But with that being said, it just looks like it's more bad news for GameStop. The stock has really failed to rebound at all from the huge drop off it's had over the couple of years. Seems like more stores are closing down. Sounds like employee morale is just plummeting, and managers, and this is the thing about it, is managers realize that this stuff that they're being told from corporate is bad. Like, this is what I feel bad about, is it's not really the managers of these stores' fault. They see the problems and they actually have solutions to be had, but they can't get it through to corporate, obviously, because the managers of these stores are just told from a higher up what to do, what to tell their employees that work for them. And so it's sad to see how the employees see what's wrong, the managers see what's wrong, but then the managers have to tell the employees what to do, and it's just kind of this sad cycle. But hopefully there's a turnaround sometime. Probably not going to be soon, but I really hope that GameStop's able to get a foothold on exactly what they want to do and where they want to position themselves in the market, because I definitely think there's opportunity, right? With the games collectibles, they could even revamp their website to maybe offer more downloadable games, or they could just become another marketplace for downloading games through their website. And in my opinion, I think the website in general just needs a huge overhaul and revamp. It looks very outdated and is not nearly as consumer friendly as other sites. And maybe they could start offering some rentals, some game rentals, hosting events, things like that could get people to come into the store, or at least buy something from the website to generate some revenue. But yeah, let me know what you think about all this down in the comments down below. Remember to like and subscribe if you like this, and that's it.